Hi, this is Jean, aviation journalist for AeroTime. We're currently at Changi Airport in Singapore, where 2025 has been nothing short of extraordinary. The airport has achieved record-breaking passenger traffic, launched multiple new city connections, and continued advancing its automation strategy, all while handling critical cargo flows between major trade partners like the United States and China. So I'm here today with Mr. Lim Ching Kiat, Executive Vice President of AirHub and Cargo Development at Changi Airport Group. We're here to discuss how Changi is building on this momentum and what the future holds for Singapore's aviation landscape. Changi Airport is clearly embracing automation as part of its innovation strategy. From a strategic perspective, how does CAG view the role of autonomous technologies in achieving your broader operational efficiency goals, and what's your philosophy on balancing technological advancement with workforce development?
Asia Pacific is poised to be one of the fastest growing regions for aviation. So in anticipation of the ever rising demand, Changi Airport is placing a lot of emphasis on automation and on technological innovation. The reason is while our traffic grows, I think the resources may not grow at the same pace, so we have to drive efficiency and higher productivity. So automation is one of the key pillars. Recently we announced that our airside, we have been rolling out driverless vehicles, so that is just one aspect of our automation. And as we deploy more automation, I think for our workers, as the automation takes over the more routine tasks, our workforce has to be constantly be reskilled and upskilled to look at more higher value added activity. So our end goal for Changi Airport is that we'll have a multi-skilled workforce that is augmented by technology, automation and artificial intelligence, and then that together will continue to drive service excellence for our passenger and also drive greater productivity as we move towards the opening of T5 in the mid-2030s.
Perfect. And speaking of T5, what can passengers expect in terms of innovation, not just in T5, in the near future, and especially when T5 opens?
Yes, I think for us, I think we will be deploying innovation and new technology across the full spectrum, from the front end where the customer service is being implemented to the back end of the house where automation, where a lot of operations are beyond the passengers' eyes. Just take one example. We have a project going on right now that is improving the aircraft turnaround at our gates. So it uses artificial intelligence, visual analytics and computer programming to see how we can break down the aircraft turnaround into all the various components of the activities, so that whenever one of these activities get out of sync, we are able to predict the end result and work together with our ecosystem partners for service recovery. This involves not just technology, but working together as an ecosystem to achieve the outcome. So the end result of this program is better punctuality and for the passengers, a better experience, and for the airlines, better use of the assets, so that we can really maximize or really keep the aircraft utilization very tight and turn around the aircraft very fast. At the front end, you would have probably experience for yourself when you come through. We have already deployed a passportless immigration, so that has been well received by our passengers. Moving forward, we'll continue to use such types of innovation in terms of biometrics to see how to deliver even better customer experience.
Okay, so let's talk about cargo and trade. Pharmaceutical logistics requires precision, strict temperature control, time-critical handling, regulatory compliance. Can you walk us through Changi's infrastructure and capabilities for handling pharma shipments?
For our air cargo hub, I think pharmaceutical is one of the strong pillars that we are constantly focused on. Singapore is one of the key centers of manufacturing of pharmaceutical products. So for pharmaceutical product, for the handling of it and air cargo, there are three aspects that we look at. One is the hardware, second is certification, and third is collaboration. So in terms of the hardware, I think as you mentioned, I think the precision and giving a temperature control environment is very important. So within our air cargo zone, we have 30,000 square meters of facility for different commodities. commodity types of pharmaceutical and temperature control items. So that has been serving our customers quite well. Second, I think the pharmaceutical companies, they also require certification that the different stakeholders are complying with the standards of handling pharmaceutical products. So at Changi, as a community, we have been certified as under IATA CEIV certification. So in fact, we have within Asia one of the largest community of CEIV certified cargo handlers. I think so that is also putting us at an advantage. And then thirdly, the importance of working as an ecosystem, not individually. So Changi Airport is one of the founding members of pharma.aero. That's an international organization that looks at exchanging best practices in the handling of pharmaceutical, as well as setting new standards and setting new products in this area. So we actively participate in this forum to exchange ideas on pharmaceutical handling. Within Singapore, we also set up a Pharma at Changi forum, where the airport and the airport community have frequent dialogues with the pharmaceutical producers, so that we hear their feedback on how we can improve ourselves, and we have this forum to exchange ideas on how we can constantly improve. So those are the areas how we improve our pharmaceutical handling.
Thank you very much. Now, China and the United States are your top cargo markets, but currently they're also the center of ongoing trade tensions and tariff disputes. Do you see if these geopolitical dynamics might impact cargo flows or passenger movements through Changi?
Yes, I think last year was one of the unusual years where there were so many changes, especially in tariff setting, where we in the cargo community find it hard to keep up with all the different changes. We were pleasantly surprised that in spite of all the changes, our cargo tonnage overall at Changi continued to improve. In fact, last year was one of the good years, very top years for us, where we achieved 2 million tons of cargo being handled through Changi Airport. Part of the reason we think is that I think many producers and companies, they are trying to diversify their supply chain and not be over-reliant on one single country. So I think part of the diversification, we have seen like Southeast Asia being beneficiary. I think many of the investments and activities are coming into Southeast Asia. I think the other aspect is, I think for air cargo, it's quite diversified. So earlier we talked about pharmaceutical. So for semiconductor and capital goods is also another key pillar of our cargo industry, and then that has seen a boom in terms of the demand for AI and for technology. So there are other commodities that we are doing quite well. But overall, we are not complacent. We are watching this space very carefully to make sure that we can move very nimble manner in reaction to all the changes.
So you've been with Changi for 16 years, and 2025 delivered record-breaking numbers across the board. Looking back over your tenure, what milestones or moments stand out as your proudest achievements?
Last year was an especially extraordinary year for me and my team. Not only did we recover back to the pre-COVID level of passenger traffic, we actually reached an all-time high of a new record level of almost 70 million passengers. Another record that we chalked out last year was having 13 new city links to the air hub, which is actually quite phenomenal. Looking further back, I think one of the other milestones was the launch of Jewel. So that has changed, in our views, it has changed our business model, and many travelers now look forward to coming to visit Jewel as a destination on its own. They might even adapt their travel pattern and their flight timing just to spend some time in Jewel. So I think the whole Jewel project, I think, has very special meaning for me and my team.
Definitely something to be proud of. Finally, with your depth of experience and operational knowledge, you see Changi differently than the millions of passengers who pass through every year. When you walk through the terminals, what details do you notice that passengers might overlook? And what do those reveal about the airport's broader role in connecting societies?
Yes, I think one aspect is that for the 70 million travelers that come through our airport every year, actually it's not a homogeneous 70 million. So as I walk through the airport, as my team observes, actually there are many different segments of the travelers, and they have very different needs. For example, in terms of dietary patterns, some of them need halal food, some of them need vegetarian food. Some travelers are traveling in multi-generational groups, so which needs special handling to cater for. I think one area that increasingly of need is also for the invisible handicap. I think they have special needs as well. So as a result, the airport has launched a quiet room so that the environment is a different environment, and some of these passengers, they need the environment to calm down and there's more less stressful for them. I think we'll continue to watch out because our traffic is very diversified. We have to watch out to make sure that the different needs of different traveller segments are catered for.
Yeah, so everyone's included.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Hope you have a safe trip back and you can enjoy our airports on the way back
Yeah, will
home.
do. Thanks.
Thank you very much.